If you keep up with Discord, you have probably heard about the zero-day exploit that allowed so-called e-gangsters, that sounds so dumb to say, to hold massive servers hostage for crypto. And while this was patched, people are actually completely missing out on a systemic failure that this event permanently exposed. So what we saw was, first of all, the absolute collapse of centralized trust, but also the reality of what happens when a multi-billion dollar platform's moderation infrastructure is effectively weaponized by a bunch of teenagers. Like, the exploit itself was painfully simple but structurally devastating, allowing malicious actors to discover a direct backdoor reporting pipeline into Discord's trust and safety system that guaranteed a 100% review and action rate, while completely bypassing the normal human triage queue. So today, instead of just yapping about a patch exploit, I'll be talking about the digital serfdom trap, why Discord's completely broken automated reporting pipeline left many people defenseless in the first place, and why the fact that this exploit even existed in the first place is the ultimate proof that you do not actually own the communities you build on pretty much rented corporate land. So to actually understand the magnitude of this failure and why a simple patch does absolutely nothing to fix the underlying infrastructure, you have to look at exactly how these bad actors coordinated the bans and manipulated Discord's own safety tools against its users before the backdoor was closed. These e-gangsters were operating out of various Telegram channels, and I believe the most prominent one was a group that was called Talk Rapper. And in this group, they actively plotted out their targets and then dropped the invite links of completely normal Discord servers for their members to attack. So once a target was selected, they used this exploit to funnel massive false reports directly into Discord's trust and safety automated systems, falsely claiming that the innocent server was hosting illegal cybercrime activities or underage stuff. And because this exploit bypassed the standard reporting review and forced Discord's system to look at it with maximum priority, the platform acted entirely pretty much on a zero tolerance panic reflex, dropping the ban hammer almost instantly to avoid liability without ever taking the time to actually verify the context of the whole situation or realize that the reports were completely fabricated. These malicious groups essentially found a backdoor to act as both the judge, jury, and executioner, that was fun to say, for any server they chose to target, and they use this terrifying power to extort server owners for money to try and get them unbanned. And they use this terrifying power to extort server owners for dollars just to, get them spared from this exploit, or even falsely claim that by paying them their server will get unbanned. It was a brilliant but brutal exploitation of a broken system, proving that when a tech company's infrastructure actively relies this heavily on blind automation, just poor review over actual deep review, it actively becomes a weapon against the users who built the platform's value. The absolute most terrifying aspect of this whole situation was the deafening, unexplainable silence that follows the execution. Specifically because even though Discord patched the reporting exploit itself, I do believe the victims of the attack are still suffering through a bizarre limbo state that Discord just refuses to properly address. So when Discord hit a community based on these false reports last week, it didn't just cleanly delete the server and allow the server to, I don't know, maybe move on or start over from scratch. Instead, it triggered a massive structural glitch where the server's invite links were permanently blacklisted and disabled, but the dead server itself still technically exists on the back end and occasionally even showed up in the platform's, what's it called, server discovery tab, just to mock the people who lost it. This created a digital purgatory where the server is completely paralyzed, a fate that over 300 servers had to deal with, and no new members can join, and no one can even generate invite links. And they cannot smoothly migrate their members to a backup because the original identity is stuck in a frozen inaccessible state. And when these server owners logically turn to Discord's customer service to try and get some help in restoring their falsely banned communities, they were met with the brutal reality of modern tech monopolies that have absolutely gutted their human support teams to save on operating costs. Like they were immediately thrown into pretty much like an automated ticketing system that sends the exact same copy pasted like denial emails, meaning victims are finding out the hard way that is mathematically like impossible to reason with like a brick wall. And if you were affected by this exploit, you were effectively guilty until proven innocent. This catastrophic failure in Discord's reporting infrastructure exposes the darkest, most uncomfortable truth about the modern internet, which is pretty much the absolute illusion of digital ownership, and why like celebrating like a software patch is completely missing like the point here. So millions of people and Discord mods dedicate countless hours of their lives to build up these like Discord servers and Discord communities, like assigning like crazy roles like organizing live events and fostering real human connections, operating under the naive assumption that their server is completely theirs and also that the corporation and Discord will protect their investment. But this recent exploit crisis proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are nothing more than like a digital serf farming on Daddy Discord land, and you are entirely at the mercy of whatever vulnerability like potentially exists in their code base. So according to the actual terms of service that you probably just did not read when you created your Discord account, don't worry, I didn't read it either. Discord owns the infrastructure, they own the server, and they own the data. Like you are merely a temporary tenant who can like be evicted at any moment without warning, compensation, or explanation. Like you have no legal standing, no property rights, and absolutely no recourse when the system like potentially has another glitch like this again and allows like a random teenager in Telegram to temporarily hijack the moderation tools to absolutely nuke like your life's work. This dynamic transforms you from a community leader into a hostage if you're actually like a Discord server owner, constantly walking on eggshells and also hoping that you're completely like innocent server isn't just randomly targeted by the next 0-day exploit that bad actors will definitely discover. When Discord executes your server based on a false report, like you don't just lose like the chat and stuff, like you instantly lose like the social scene, the networking, and the entire structural like foundation of your community in like a matter of like milliseconds. Like it is a brutal reminder that whenever you centralize your entire online existence onto like a single closed source like platform, you're handing a multi-billion-dollar corporation a loaded gun and just praying they never accidentally like hand it to a scammer. This is exactly why the real conversation surrounding this entire like Discord like exploit shouldn't just be about like skids or like it getting patched or stuff like that. Like instead, this conversation like it should be about like fundamentally changing how we like approach community building on the internet itself, so people are not put in this position again. Like the reason these centralized platform traps are so like dangerous is because they offer like incredible convenience and also like UI and stuff like that at the absolute cost of your autonomy, security, and digital like sovereignty. But as the internet becomes increasingly like hostile, censored, and digital ID and all of that, and just like automated system that can just be so easily weaponized by anyone with a basic understanding of an exploit, like we are seeing like a massive like resurgence in the self-hosting and decentralized communication like communities like taking off. Like communities are finally like waking up to the fact that the only way to truly secure their digital like existence is to own the actual like infrastructure they are operating on from the ground up. Like open source like protocols like Matrix, local first chat clients, and also self-hosted server like environments, like they're no longer just like a niche thing for like I don't know, cybersecurity professionals. Like they are rapidly becoming like survival tools for any community that actually wants to be like truly safe and guarantee its own existence. So yeah, that's it for this video, and honestly like this was a pretty interesting topic. Like NTTS was the one who gave the idea. I will link their video in the description. Like it was really good, and I just want to say like this exploit like it's kind of stupid as well. Like are e-gangsters actually real people on this earth?